Oh, we could fly.
Welcome back to Have a Cup of Johnny. This season isn't about hustling harder. It's about coming home to yourself, to your voice, to your breath,
Oh,
to the quiet truth that you're still here and you're not starting over. You're starting again. This is your space to reflect, reset, and remember who the hell you are. So pour your cafecito and let's begin. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Have a Cup of Johnny podcast, where we talk about the messy, magical process of becoming one cup at a time. It's still August, still my birthday month, and I've been walking you through the lessons I've learned at 43. Today's reflection, this one is hot off the press, and I'm glad that I'll be scheduling this one immediately after the first episode of listening to my body. Because you need to hear this. Let me tell you, something happened this week. And because this is like recently, so it's a very raw lessons learned. I gotta warn you, it's not polished, it's not poetic, it's just very raw and real. And it's about something as small and as politicized as wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Wearing a mask. God damn it. The title of this episode is Mind Your Mask and Mind Your Business, dude. Y'all ready for this? I'm gonna take out the dude part out of the title, just letting you know. Let's go. So picture this, okay? Put the vision in your head. I'm back at work. I had to take some days off because I was recovering not just from COVID, but also the flu. And I was highly contagious. I was still getting fevers and chills and all of that. So I couldn't come back to work. So that combo was atrocious. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Don't ever want to feel that again. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone either. Not even the guy who side-eyed me today when I walked in wearing my mask. Because yes, after coming back to work, after the chills and the fever stopped, I wore a mask. And I had every reason to. First of all, I'm still recovering. Second of all, I want to protect others. I don't know others' medical conditions, right? So I want to make sure that I protect others. And I also, I don't want to get reinfected, people, especially while my immune system is recovering and it's in the fritz. I don't feel like going through that again. Call me dramatic, but I mean, come on now. I mean, my immune system is already hanging on by a thread in a peppermint tea as it is right now. Like, golly. But in the span of a few hours of me coming back to work that first day with my mask on, I got like 5 comments. 5. No exaggeration there. 5 comments within the span of a few hours. All from men, by the way. Okay, please don't come into the comments saying like I'm a man hater or anything like that. I'm just stating the facts here, okay? All the comments came from men, and all these comments were ranging from awkward jokes to sarcastic digs to why are you wearing that ridiculous thing? And like I had to pause. I thought I was getting pranked for real. Like I thought I was getting pranked. And I think that's why I had to take a pause on the first few comments because I was like, am I really like being talked down to because I chose to wear a mask? To me, that was the ridiculous thing of all of this. And in my mind, I'm like, really? Still? After everything we've seen, we are doing this? We're like dogging out the masks? Jesus Christ, have mercy on their souls. So here's what gets me. I'm telling you, this is not a pretty episode. This is very raw. But here's what gets me. I wasn't forcing anyone to wear a mask. Like, I wasn't saying to anyone, you gotta wear a mask. I wasn't campaigning in the hallway, putting posters up, or anything like that about how masks are the way to go or anything like that. I was just existing quietly, wearing something on my face, on my body that I paid for because I had the fucking flu and COVID, and I don't want to feel like death again. Like, call me dramatic. Gonna say it again, call me dramatic, but I don't really want to go through that again. So if the way to have the odds in my favor of that not happening again is to wear a mask to protect myself, you better believe that's exactly what I'm going to do. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of wearing a mask whenever I travel, possibly whenever I'm around all these folks in a small space because I thought I was going to die. It was a horrible feeling to have the way that I felt. And if you don't know, listen to the previous episode, please. So that way you know. I'm not being dramatic here. I had 2 viruses at once in my body, wrecking all sorts of havoc. It was horrible. So I had to ask myself, like, what is it about me taking care of myself with the things that I've bought with my own money that's making these folks so uncomfortable? And I kept turning this over in my mind. And finally, today, that's why I'm making this episode, because today, after turning it over for like 3 days, it just comes down to this in my mind, my opinion, folks. I believe that some people make a decision like, I will never wear a mask again. Fuck the mask thing. I'll never wear it again. And then they see someone who didn't make that same decision as them, and it forces them to confront the possibility that they may have been wrong, or at least that there's another valid way to move through the world other than the way that they chose to do it. And that discomfort that they're feeling is like a bully. Instead of sitting with it and acknowledging it and going through the feels of it, they try to shut you down, belittle you, be sarcastic about it, say these unwarranted jokes about it, because that is easier than sitting with the feeling of inadequacy or, oh shit, I may have made the wrong choice, or maybe I need to rethink about the choice that I made. Because that's really uncomfortable when human beings have to face the fact that maybe they made a mistake. And look, I'm not here dragging people into clinics. I'm not mandating what anyone else should do. I'm not invading their rights or shouting about science in the hallway. I'm just doing what I can to stay healthy and prevent harm. Like, I even had a hard time breathing, guys. That's how bad it was. Like, I really would like to forego this experience. If I can have it that way, right? I would like to forego that experience ever again. But still, 5 comments in one day, and not a single one of them was from a woman. But let me backtrack a little bit, because I did, in fact, get a comment from a woman while we was in the bathroom. And you know what the comment was? Oh no, you're sick. And when I told her I was recovering, she simply took a step back and let me have a wider berth, and I completely understand it. She's probably like me. She don't want to get sick. And then that's it. She was like, I hope you feel better. I was like, thank you. That was it. Boundaries respected, space given, no judgment. Or if she had any, she kept it to herself. Why can it be all that simple, y'all? Like, why? Why can it just be that simple? You see somebody like making a choice for themselves, for their bodies that causes no harm to you. Why can't you just let it go? But that's not what happened. No. And what hurt wasn't just the comments. It was a reminder of how people treat difference. The mask on my face just became a trigger, because it affected them, but because it reminded them that they had a choice and that someone else made a different one. And instead of respecting that, they tried to erase it. And I know this is deeper than a mask. I know for a fact this goes way deeper than a mask. It's about control. It's about autonomy. It's about how uncomfortable some people get when someone dares to live outside of their norm. When you say no thank you to peer pressure or conformity or whatever other toxic quote unquote normal they've internalized. So here's what 43 has taught me when it comes to this. Golly. Other people's discomfort is not my responsibility. If wearing a mask makes you feel all sorts of weird inside, that's your feeling to unpack. That's not my feeling. If seeing me set a boundary or making a different choice shakes something loose in you, good. Let it. That's an invitation for you to grow, for you to inspect that feeling if you so choose to, or totally ignore it and go about your life. But what I will not do is I will not shrink to ease your unease. Not anymore. Because every time I listen to my body, every time I honor what I need, I am practicing something bigger than health. I am practicing sovereignty. And I think we all deserve that kind of self-respect. So here's my call to action to you all. If you've ever been mocked or questioned for setting a boundary, taking a precaution, or simply choosing you, just know you're not alone. Keep doing what works for you. Let them deal with their discomfort. And if you're someone who finds yourself reacting to someone else's choice, I want you to take a pause. Ask yourself, what's really being triggered here? Because it might not be about them. It might be about what you haven't admitted to yourself. And as always, Basitos, thank you so much for listening to my rant today. My reflection and revelation this August and this entire year as a 43-year-old has been full of insights. But this one right here, as you can tell, as you can hear from my voice, this one hit deep. But as always, if this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it. And don't forget about my novel that's coming up in November. It's called The Ordinary Bruja, and it's now available for pre-order. All ebooks are 50% off. I encourage you to check it out, pre-order it, or send it to somebody who you would know would love such a book. This is a story about reclaiming your voice, just like I did here, confronting the ghosts of your past and stepping fully into your power. The same thing that we're trying to do here, one episode at a time. And you can pre-order it now on my website, and I'll have that link in the show note. But whatever you do, let's keep honoring ourselves. One mask, one choice, one cup at a time. Until next time, stay sovereign, stay soft. And as always, I hope to see you here so we can have another cup. Bye.
Oh, we could fly.
If today's episode spoke to you, share with somebody who's finding their way back too. And if you haven't yet, visit haveacupofjohnny.com for more stories, blog posts, and the books that started it all. Thank you for being here. Until next time, be soft, be bold, and always have a cup of Johnny.